My name is Rebecca Hewitt, and today I'm joined with Patrick Wendler. Thank you for being here.
Sure, thanks for having me.
So, tell me about one of the biggest life challenges you've ever encountered.
I'd say one of the biggest life challenges was when I was diagnosed with diabetes.
How old were you when that happened?
8 years old. It was on July 5th, 2005.
So, as far as your initial reaction and your family's reaction, what was it like being diagnosed so young?
I mean, to me, I was 8 years old. I had absolutely no idea what it meant. All I remember was I was reading a Batman magazine when the doctor told us. But I remember my parents crying in the doctor's office. And then they told me we had to go home and get some stuff and go straight to the hospital. And at this point, I'm still really confused. But then when you're in the hospital, you have to spend several days learning about the disease and how to manage it and all that sort of things.
Right. So, how did you find out you had diabetes? Were there tests run, or was there an incident?
So my parents had noticed that I was starting to act really lethargic, and at 8 years old, I started to lose a lot of weight, which at 8 years old you shouldn't be. And I was eating normally. Yeah, but I was also using the bathroom a lot, and that's one of the biggest key symptoms. It's your body trying to flush out all the sugar. And so when they noticed this, they said we got to take him into the doctor. And the simplest thing they do is they just test your blood sugar.
Right.
And I do that every day by just pricking my finger, putting it to a little machine, and it tells you how much, what your blood sugar is.
Mm.
So when I was admitted, I was at 1200. You're supposed to be between 80 and 120.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah,
So obviously there was some concern there.
definitely.
So I know there are two different types of diabetes. Which one were you diagnosed with, and would you mind explaining a little bit about it so that all of us can be more informed?
Sure. So there's two different types, obviously, like you said, type 1 and type 2. That's what they've narrowed the names down to now to make it easier. But so I'm type 1 diabetic, which means it's mostly genetic, it's passed down in families, and there's really nothing you can do to stop it. So somewhere in my family line, somebody before me has had diabetes or pancreatic issues and has passed it down towards me. I'm the lucky one, I guess.
So how have you managed your diabetes?
So management is a little bit different for everybody. So some people can keep a really stable blood sugar, and that's what your main concern is. And so for me, I have to check my blood sugar about 5 to 7 times a day, which means I have to prick my finger, test the blood sugar, and put it into my insulin pump.
Mm.
And then I have to take insulin through my pump or through a syringe every time I eat or drink something that has sugar in it.
Okay, and that helps stabilize.
Yeah, so if I don't take my own insulin when I eat that, my pancreas doesn't produce any at all.
Right.
So my blood sugar will just skyrocket. And as that happens, you start to feel sicker and sicker.
So what do you think the future is going to look like from here on out?
I have a couple of different hopes for the future. First off, obviously, I'm always hoping for a cure. That would be the best solution.
Yeah.
Just be the greatest way to get rid of it and take care of it. But another cool thing that they're working on is a lot of new technology. Like my insulin pump, for instance. It's this guy right here. So this actually monitors my blood sugar and will control my insulin for me when I'm not eating. All I have to do is enter the carbohydrates that I eat when I do have a meal, and put that insulin manually. And other than that, it helps keep a steady trend with your blood sugar as opposed to going around like a roller coaster. And as that technology develops, they're moving closer to a pump that can do everything for you, where it's just all autonomous, an artificial pancreas, if you will.
That's awesome. So new technology definitely definitely could help to find a cure for diabetes and help you control it on your everyday life. So seems like a positive outlook to me.
Right. Anything that help make it easier, make it more affordable would be great.
For sure. All right. Well, thank you for sitting down with me and allowing us to have a chance to hear more about diabetes and hearing more about your experience. But I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.